Hi, welcome to Donna and Friends. This week I've got very special guests in the studio. Michael Haynes from the Cushing Library, and then Officer Rachel Hinges. I
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I just want to say Officer Rachel and Librarian Mike. But we won't do that. But you guys, I've called you here for something I think is really exciting that goes on in Cushing every year, and that is our bicycle rodeo. So, Rachel, I'm going to start with you and let you kind of give me the take from your side, because the Cushing Police Department and the library joined forces for the event. So, Rachel, tell us a little bit about the rodeo.
Basically, the bicycle rodeo is a safety and skills event for children ages 5 to 12. They show up at the rodeo, and we're going to have a bunch of obstacles, a bunch of skills that we're going to teach them, and then at the end they get to put it all together in an obstacle course. So it's really fun for them, and also it teaches them bicycle safety and what to do if they encounter something in the roadway or a vehicle or another person on a bike.
So where do you set all this up at?
This year we are doing it at the old police department and the old fire department in that parking lot.
Great avenue.
It's a huge parking lot. It's a huge space for us, and I think it'll work out really good this year.
Now, how long has this been going on? What year are we on?
This is the second year that we've done it in a row. I know in the past, I'm not sure, maybe like 15 years ago, they used to do bicycle rodeos, but that went away. And then last year, I think the library actually approached us with the idea.
Enter in Michael, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So when this was coming up for you to bring it, back together, how did that come about, Mike?
That was actually an idea that our director, LaDon, had, and she brought it to me, and I said, I think we ought to do it. And so she said, I guess we contact the police department. And so she talked to Chief Folden, and then he roped Officer Hinches, and it got started.
And you were roped in, and you were roped in, and
Yes.
away we go. Away we go. So you have a lot of children that come to the library, so this is an excellent way to get that information out, I think, probably to the children in the community.
Right.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So what will be your part this year in the event?
The library actually has the easy part. We do all of the kind of behind the scenes and paperwork. We do the registration forms, get the kids signed up. We print the certificates that they'll get after they complete the rodeo, and that's basically our part. We buy popsicles and water.
Oh, so the fun stuff.
Yeah.
You're doing the fun stuff there. Now the event this year is going to be held June 7th, correct?
Yes,
And what time will it start?
9:30.
And does it have an end time?
It's scheduled to go till noon. Last year, I think we finished up a little bit early, but hopefully this year we're expecting even more kids to participate. So we'll probably end up going the full length.
And again, what was the age group?
5 to 12.
So do you split those children into age categories?
No.
So they're all, is
They're
it
all
a
going out
free-for-all?
at the same time. Yeah.
Wow, so,
Well, and we have several different stations where they learn skills, and we are really fortunate to have emergency management who helped us out tremendously last year. They kind of manned those stations. So,
Okay.
and I kind of left it up to them. If you want to do 4 or 5 kids at a time and teach them a skill, or you can do it, 1 kid at a time. But they did a really great job, and it seemed to work out last year. So.
now are bicycles allowed with the training wheels? I'm thinking about kids that are 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you've got training wheels on your bike, you can still join in.
Absolutely. The only restrictions that we've really put on are we require them to have a helmet, and we require them to have closed-toed shoes like sneakers or boots or something like that. No flip-flops.
Well, I can attest from a personal level that you don't want to wear flip-flops or go barefoot riding bike, although many of us did as a kid, but my brother
Yeah.
was doing that, and he almost took a big toe
Yeah.
off it. So kids, when they say closed toe, please do please do adhere to that, because really
Exactly.
this is part of making the awareness of bike safety.
Right.
There's really a certain way to dress
Right.
when you ride your bike. You just don't jump on it barefoot and head out. Like we used to do, and no one would say anything until you're at the ER. It was like, well, why didn't you have your shoes on? You should have had your shoes on, you know, kind of thing. What are some of the safety things that you'll teach kids particularly?
We have elements, we have stations where I think this year I'm trying to do different things than I did last year, just in case we have those same kids coming back. I don't want them to be doing the same thing as they did last year. So I think this year I'm going to put some hard elements out there, like maybe a 2x4 that they have to drive over and maintain balance and, you know, stay on their bike.
Can you do that?
I haven't been on a bike in probably, well, that's not true. I have a bike. It's been a few years.
I think that would be really same for me. Same for me. I recently went to Florida and my daughter was like, you know, Mom, if you want to just take my bike down to the pool, you could do that. She lived in a complex and I was thinking, is she crazy? I've been on a bike.
Yeah.
She was like, I just take the bike down. You know, I was
Well,
like,
you know, Ladon and Michael were telling me the other day, we had a meeting the other day, and they were talking about how all the kids were real excited when they were talking about it to them in the schools when they went to go do the summer reading program, and they were asking, you know, are you gonna have ramps? We're not gonna have new ramps. We're not gonna have anything crazy like that. Our purpose is to just focus on keeping them safe while they're on their bike and teaching them, you know, the basic traffic laws, or bicycle laws for riding your bike, when you need to stop, when you have the right of way, those kind of things.
will there be any kind of, I don't know, like friendly type competitions going on during the rodeo?
We haven't designed any for this year. It's kind of been, you know, from last year to this year, we learned a lot about things that maybe we can incorporate the next year. And so there's some things that I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do differently this year. Next year, as we pick up speed and it becomes more popular, we have more participation, we might do some competition things. We've also thought about, you know, doing like a 5K bike ride around town at the end, or something like that. So.
Well, the parents would probably appreciate that, and the kids would come back, "Woo, Mom, I need a nap."
Yeah.
That would be good.
And,
They'd
you know,
be like, the parents would be like, "We love bicycle rodeo," until Michael gets them all hopped up over here on some sweets or something, you know.
Yeah, on the popsicles.
Right.
Guilty.
I know you are. So let's talk flavors of popsicles.
Just whatever comes in the box.
You're just gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is really a great thing for the library to go through the paperwork end of it, because I would expect you'll have quite a few kids. How many were in attendance last year?
And we had 45, I think
Wow.
was our number.
So,
45 or
It's a pretty
47.
good amount of kids to
Yeah.
go through obstacle courses and teach safety to.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like, Rachel, you know, being an officer here around town, what is one of the worst things you see that kids do when they're on their bicycles around town?
You know, a lot of, I can tell you just from researching, putting the bicycle rodeo together, a lot of the injuries occur just from kids not being able to multitask and pay attention to traffic and pay attention to things that are, you know, passing them or behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the skills that we really focus on in the bike rodeo, is just making sure that they learn to start looking around them.
Yes, before they enter that street. What I see around town when I'm driving, and it gets to be this time of year and the kids are all out on bikes and skateboards or rollerblades or whatever, is coming between those parked cars. Like
Yeah.
they're just kind of going in between those parked, and then boom, there they are.
We actually have a parked car skill
Okay.
that we did last year, and will probably be included this year too, since that's a really important thing, I think.
Well, and I also want to bring, you know, focus on the fact that helmets are very important. That is something that when I was a kid, no one had a helmet on when they
Right.
were riding their bicycle. And that could have prevented a lot of injury from when I was a child, many, many moons ago, you know. But I really feel that the helmets are really, no, but that's not something that's a law, is it?
No,
Yeah.
it's something that we're requiring, because we feel, you know, it's important. Anytime you have a wreck, the chance that you're going to have a head injury, you know,
Yes.
going head first off your bike.
Oh, yes, over those
It's pretty
handlebars,
great.
yeah. Mhm.
So that's why we're requiring it for the bicycle rodeo. Now, last year we had the Fraternal Order of Police donate 6 or 7 helmets that
Oh, great.
we kind of recycled through the kids when they came because we knew that there were going to be kids that
Yes.
were going to show up and not have a helmet.
Right.
So
Well, that's great.
we had those helmets. Now this year, I've been in contact with the Safe Kids Coalition, and they are going to send us about 75 helmets to give away.
Fabulous.
So we don't.
That's great.
Our fear was we didn't want to turn any kids away that showed up
Yes,
without a helmet.
absolutely.
So that's what we've done to kind of remedy that.
If there's parents out there watching right now, how, Michael, can they get signed up for this bicycle rodeo on June 7th?
We have registration forms available at the circulation desk at the library, so they just come in and get signed up.
Library hours?
Library hours, Monday through Thursday, we're open 9 to 8, and Friday and Saturday, 9 to 6.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in studio today. I really appreciate it. And you can have your kids join in on the action. Just check out the library. Give the phone number real quick, Michael.
918-225-4188.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Thank you.
Let's go rodeo.